Good evening, you lovely people, and I am once again back with my favorite program, and that's Wednesday Book Reviews. And this time, I am on the first month of 2021, and I'm very happy that I have got this month as my Wednesday Book Reviews because let's start this year with some good reading, right? So, to start the year of 2021, Parent Station is all set to give you some wonderful insights with activities and live shows catering every aspect, not only for parenting, but also how you look at life. So, follow us on Facebook and Instagram and enjoy this journey called life. Books actually give me a lot of energy. And the more I read, the more energy is boosted in me. And I'm sure it is in many of y'all. So today I have got one such book, which is written by one such man. I would like to give two adjectives to this man. One is energetic and the second is magnetic. He is like a magnet because his energy is very captivating. Why will I say that? Because I am really privileged to have had some really great learning time with him. And even if a phone call with him of 10 minutes is so much of learning. So he is really a magnetic personality, and this book is really a masterpiece by him. Before I reveal the book and what all is this book all about, I would like to put some light on this topic called time. Uh, Today, what is time? Actually, time is a finite resource. It's a finite resource. And he has mentioned in this book that we have just 86,400 seconds to make one day. And we have so much to achieve, right? And so it is very important that how we make the optimum use is something which we all need to learn. And it is actually an art because time is really something which is very important in every person's life. So, uh, saying that it is an important resource, saying that मेरे पास इतना time नहीं है, it's a very casual thing that I don't have that much time. So this book is going to really help you on how you can set the entire management of this resource called time. And managing this time is an art because uh, you really need to be an artist to know how much time is dedicated to what. And this book talks all about that. The book's name is here. It's called $1,000,000 Second. And it is written by Brigadier Sushil Basin. The author's name is Brigadier Sushil Basin. I would like to talk something about him and would just like to give a little gist about him. You can follow him on LinkedIn, you can follow him on Facebook, you can follow him following him on Instagram, on YouTube, and you will get to know more and more about him. Okay, so Brigadier Sir is a TEDx speaker, he's a keynote speaker, and a master corporate trainer for leadership and self development, and an excellent author. He is marvelous with the impact he creates on audiences with his inspiring stories. He doesn't believe that you need to just create a shift in the mindset. He believes you need to create a shift in your heart set. So when I read this line in his book, I immediately thought of a line called क्योंकि हम दिमाग सिर्फ लगाते हैं पर दिल से काम करते हैं. That's why it is important to create a shift in your heart set more than your mindset. So the best thing I like about this book is the special feature which it has is one is that it has a feature called chapter learning. So after every chapter, there is a learning page. So it's got this key words and key things written about the chapter over here, whatever you have learned. And another feature which I like about this book, because this book is not only about reading, it's about journaling your entire learning also. So another thing which I like about this book is the page which shows you, it's like a workbook. It has reflection and what exactly you're going to do ahead after reading that. So it's all about that. So I have my favorite chapter in this book, and I'm going to read some points about this chapter. Uh, this chapter is more about how you prioritize your, um, you know, uh, your entire to-do list, how you prioritize it. So this chapter's name is Prioritization, the Golden Key. How to get more done than you ever have by sticking to your to-do list, because not everything urgent deserves your immediate attention. So he writes over here that I have studied the lives of several successful people who have excelled in various fields of life. Besides self discipline, I found that one quality each one of them had was this extraordinary ability to manage time through the art of elimination. You know, usually when we make a to do list, we always want things what we want to do, but we never make a list where we want to eliminate something we don't want to do. So, really, we need to learn this art to eliminate things which we do not want to do. So, this chapter is all about that, the art of elimination, the art of prioritization, and the art of delegation. They understood the importance of doing the most important things first. They also realized the importance of outsourcing tasks that could be done by others at a lesser hourly worth. Instead of making a wish list and working their way downward, they analyzed the long roster of items competing for their attention and decided which one deserved their immediate attention. The remaining they eliminated, delegated or outsourced. So we always have this thing कि ये मैंने कर लिया ना तो बस मैं ही कर सकती हूँ और कोई कर ही नहीं सकता. This list is made, every item only I can do. But we do not know that there are certain things which we can delegate, which we can tell someone else also to do. So हमारा उतना time बच जाएगा and something more productive can be done in that time. So this is what is all explained in this book. Now, there is a short story about a jar in this book, which is really very inspiring. And after the story on in this chapter, they have written. He has written about some question one asks of oneself before approaching prioritization of work. So, before when you want to prioritize the list, we need something which we need to ask. So there are three simple questions we need to ask. What do I want? Why do I want? And how will I do it? So, what do I want? We need to spend some time and effort on getting clarity in what you really want. Ask yourself this question several times to be sure of what you intend on achieving. Why do I want it? We never ask it. Why do I? हम खाली लिस्ट बना देते हैं, पर हमको क्यों चाहिए उसके बारे में we never think. So, why do I want it? The next step is to arrive at the reason why you want to do what you want to do. It is compelling enough. What happens if you do not achieve it? That is plan B. Is there a loss or is there something to stake? How does it matter to you in life? When you ask yourself these questions, the want starts getting clearer. The more compelling the reason, the better, as the chances that you will achieve what you set out to do. Now, that is all about what I want. and why do I want? Now let's come to this third question called how will I do it? Now this is the crucial part. The how will emerge clearly if you have resolved the question that followed this one. If you have methods and rationale in your approach, the action plan is easier to work out. So, this chapter, when I finished reading, I have listed my chapter learning. One is making to-do list is important. Definitely it is important. But also making the not to-do list is also important, and to achieve list is also important. Second, which I learned from this is learn to say no to calls, to visitors, and to distractions. We need to learn to say no, which we never. We always feel like, अच्छा ठीक है आ गया है चलो मिल लेते हैं कॉल आ गया है उठा लो. But if it is not important at that particular time, let us learn to say no. And the three questions to approach priorities in your life. So this is how I look at this book, and this book has got only, I'll tell you, just 11 chapters. And this book, I must say, is a kind of a workbook for all of you all. And also, this book is all about key points of time, and everything is written in point form, so it's very easy to even make your notes. Now another thing which I like about this book, that every chapter in this book is not very big, not very elaborated. It's a very small chapter. The chapters are very small. So when you finish reading, suppose if you want to finish the book, even if you do one chapter in 11 days, your book is going to get over. So it is something which is really very good. Whenever that thing comes about reading, we always feel that oh God, this book itna padna padega. But then when the chapters are small, when they are written in pointers, when there is something where we can even put our input in, then that book becomes interesting. And to all your surprises, I have the man himself with me. So I'm getting him on the screen, and he is going to add something magnetic on the screen right now. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, Hetal. I'm fine. How are you? It's so nice to see you. Bubbling with energy as always.
I was just telling everyone that there are two adjectives which I want to give, sir. One is energetic and one is magnetic, because you are like a magnet to all of us. We all get attracted to you.
You are so generous with your words, so kind of you. I've had some very, very good experience when I did some teachers training program in your school. And for the audience, let me tell you that she was appointed as a one-point contact. So she used to coordinate everything with me. And it was so good interacting with her. And she was, like, she used to make my job so simple. And I found that she had exactly the same type of thinking. We used to resonate. And that program was so good because of her, because it was a very good teamwork. Okay. So coming back, yes, to your questions and your
Yes.
answers.
I don't have any questions. I am giving you 10 minutes to just create magic on screen. That's it. I just want you to give us this magic book which you have made about time. So
Okay.
I just want you to give the audience the insight about what this entire book is, because I have given about my favorite chapter on priorities. I love that chapter.
So
So
I don't know whether you know कि मैंने चोरी चोरी छिपके छिपके सब सुन लिया जो तुमने बोला था. So I know what you said, right?
yes.
Okay. So, my dear viewers, I'm so grateful to you that you've had your time, you're investing your time into this program. And my first point I'm trying to say here is don't ever say I spend time, say I invest time. Everything happens from time consciousness. How do you think time is? That is a very, very important part, right? So, what I'm going to be talking about right now is a few amplifications and why did I write this book. So, firstly, let me start with why did I write my book? Because I think in everything in life, I now first look at the why of a thing. If your why is clear, if your why is good, then what and how becomes simple. But in life, we sometimes start with a how. How will I become a millionaire? And you say, I can't become it, the matter finishes. But if you know why you should become a millionaire, you'll find ways of doing it. That's what Dhiro Mayamani did. So you should have your why very clear. Why I wrote this book was I was born in a very humble middle class family, but there was one thing I owe a lot of gratitude to my parents. They brought us up in a very disciplined way. So there was a certain amount of routine and discipline in my life right from the beginning. And then I went to a scenic school where it was strengthened. And then I went to NDA and IMA and 34 years of service in the army. It kept getting strengthened and strengthened. And I realized the value of time at various occasions of my life. And all this, instead of telling you right now, take a little time off and invest your 18 minutes into watching my TEDx talk on this, which says, What Army Taught Me About Time. So when I got those experiences, and after in 2004, I stepped out into the civil world and I started training. And in my training, I found that corporates come to me and people at the age of 40, 45 who are looking at team building and leadership. If one thing they always wanted to know was, how do I manage my time? And I said, what is the problem with them? I think because for me, time management had become a very easy thing because it was built up from my childhood onwards. So I started putting my army experiences into practice in the corporate world, and I found that those little things which I later on started calling tools and technologies, and I didn't know those terms that time because we never used them as tools. For us it was our DNA, and therefore I put them down. And at one stage in 2016 I decided to put them all in a book, and that is how $1 million second came up. Couple of things about this book. Now, once I wrote this book, and before I go to the proper book, let me tell you, my whole focus and aim was deviate from the normal time management techniques that people tell you. Those techniques of no good, no use. It is something like having a wonderful car. Now, car is a tool, car is an instrument, car is a vehicle that will take you where you want to. But if the driver is not good, if I'm going to drive the car can be excellent, but I am not good. How will I do it? Similarly, I'll learn all the tools, but do I have the will to do it? So I thought everything was here. So I have a vision and a mission. This for me is not a book, it is a mission of my life. And the mission of my life is to help the society become a time conscious society. Now, when I say time conscious society, I'm very clear about what I'm saying. I want you to think about time without thinking. And what do I mean? It should become your subconscious function. When you drive a car, you remember your instructor must have told you in the beginning that you press the clutch, switch on the ignition, change the gear to number one, release the clutch, and the car will move forward. And then he also told you when you reach about 20 to 25 kilometers, again press the clutch, bring the gear to neutral, then to two, then release the clutch, and the car will continue. And every time you looked at the speedometer to see whether it was 20, 25, then you press the clutch, then you change the gear. You don't do that anymore. You may be going with your hands around your girlfriend's shoulder and driving with one hand. You don't know when the clutch got pressed, when the gear got changed. You don't even know that. That is what I want you to do. I want you to understand the value, importance, and relevance of time without consciously driving it. We want it to become a subconscious mind function. And that is what this book aims at, right? Now, couple of things about this book. Firstly, I'm very, very grateful to Brian Tracy, who has endorsed this book. Now, Brian Tracy is my guru. I learned goal setting and time management from him in the year 2013. And when I was in the flight coming back from Chennai, where I attended this, in the plane, I wrote down gems from Brian Tracy, and they're there on my blog post. And that day, I realized that I really got gems from him, and I started applying them in my life. So there, all those gems are contained here. And Brian Tracy has been so kind in writing. Sushil has developed a wonderful system of goal setting and time management that will transform your life and double your income. I don't say it, but he said it. It's amazing. Now, having this endorsement from Brian Tracy is very, very powerful, very, very valuable for me. And then I've got at least 20 international people and many others who have written all about this book as a preview. And that is something which is very, very, again, valuable to me and my acknowledgement to them. The next thing is I've got two, three very unique features. And one is that right in the beginning, I have written a note called From Me to You. It's a personal message to say, how do I want you to use this book? And one of the things is I say, let me turn this offline reading pleasure into an online interaction. Now, here I say that I'm the only author in the world who has done something like this. I would be very happy if somebody contradicts that and tells me if somebody else has done it, at least before I did. And that is, a book is primarily a one-way communication from an author to a reader. But what I have done is, and I have not even created as a two-way communication that, okay, then now the reader can also contact the author. No, I made it a multi-channel communication. And that is, a reader like Hetal sitting in Surat could be interacting with somebody in Africa, because we have got a WhatsApp group and a Facebook group on which all the readers of this book come and they interact with each other. It's not only about the book, but after the book as well, that what did they apply, what did they experience, and how is it working for them. Now that is the unique part of it. The third part, which is unique, and I think Hetal has already covered, and I will not repeat that, is this part, which was very deliberate in my mind, and that is the reflections and actions. But what I want to say is that if you have seriously done this properly, and I always recommend that do one reading without writing anything. And in the second reading, now that you've got the whole gist of it, now reread and then start writing. How does this chapter relate to you in your life? What does it mean to you in your life? And what are the actions you plan to take? And then in the end, my dear viewers, I have something which is very valuable. Of course, we have got 3-4 pages of notes, which I'm not showing you. But in the end, you are supposed to make your massive action plan. There's no way that your life will not improve if you read this book. And why do I make this tall claim? Because it will not be from what I told you. Every chapter will make you probe into yourself, into your inner self, and decide what you need to do. So therefore, at the end of it, this book will give you your customized solution. And I have known of any other book that does that, right? So let me cover 2-3 things. One of the things, like, Hetal said, oh, there are very small chapters. Very deliberately, my original manuscript could have gone to about 300 pages. And I brought it down to almost 110. Why? Because we realized that a thick book nobody will read today. Attention spans have come down. And therefore, when I'm talking about time management, let me put that into a shorter space. So we deliberately put it into 10 chapters. Now, why so? Firstly, because I wanted to. So 3 P's about it. First, I wanted to be precise. Let me hit the main headlines. Let me first catch your attention to the main things and not go into too many details. Second is make you probe into. So second P is probe, that I'm making you probe into the subject, into yourself. And the third is platforms. That the moment I wrote this book, I started my YouTube channel. YouTube channel is already there, but there's a playlist called the Time Brigade, the Time Brigadier actually. Okay, you must look at this. There are more than 150 videos, free content available. But when you read the book and then watch those videos, they'll make a lot of difference to you. So, as Hetal said, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all platforms are there. And that is where it'll give you a lot of value. Two, three more things, if Hetal will give me the time. One is that I have I've been honored and privileged that in my book launch, there's a daughter of a very good student and friend of mine. Her name is Gina Etharva, and she is a conscious music coach in London right now, doing very well for herself. She has composed and sung a tune called the Time Brigade. Now, very few books would have assigned to it an own integral tune or a song. So it's a small jingle which plays in the beginning of all my videos. I'll be very happy if you have a look at it. And the last thing I will like to say is, yeah, the last thing I like to say is, and I'm going to give you a gift for all those who are now, Hetal, this gift will be given to only those who are watching live. Now, those who come and see later, well, I leave it to you. You can decide. But this gift is basically for people who have invested their time into watching now. Yeah, you're going to say something.
There is one viewer who has put a question. If anyone can join your WhatsApp group for that book, that's the question for my
Uh,
viewer.
no. Okay. So in that platforms, let me first answer that. Yeah, before I come to this question per se. So you know how now I expand that knowledge of the book, as I said, from social media platforms to my workshops. So I do a lot of workshops. So you would have either attended a workshop or read my book to become a part of that group. You cannot be a part of the group because I feel that that is going beyond the book. So if you have not got your basic knowledge, if you haven't gone to school, I can't take you to college. Okay, so the two conditions are either you have done a workshop of mine or you have read the book. So you read the book, and then you are entitled to join the WhatsApp group or the Facebook group, right? That is point one. And point two is that tomorrow, sorry, this
Ninth
Saturday,
Friday,
no, Sunday.
Saturday,
No,
Saturday.
Saturday is
Right? You have a
yeah,
session on
okay, yeah, 9th Jan, yeah. Saturday, 9th Jan, I will be doing a 3 hours masterclass called the Time Managers Program. And this has become a hit because all those who have done it have loved it. And all those who have done it have said, our life has changed. So I'm going to be doing that. And if anyone wants to join, I'll be happy to provide that link. Or you seeing me on Facebook, send me a message on my messenger and I will be very happy to get you onto this program. So you can buy my book or do my program, come on the community and become a member of this community so that you can also join us in making this a time conscious society. So I'm going to give you a gift. I'm going to give it to Hetal. She'll know how to give it to you. I don't know. And that is, what is it? Okay. Another very, when you do something good, it comes back to you in this universe. I am very, very
Yes,
sure of that. So
yes.
this Veena Artharva, who would charge so much of money to make a jingle for somebody, herself came and said, "Can I do this for you?" I never even thought of a dedicated tune for my book. There's a lady, her name is Vijaya Suvarna. So kind of her, she messaged me and said, Brigadier, would you like me to make a doodle of each of your chapters? And she had done it for a Marshall Goldsmith book. And I'd seen that and I jumped at it. I said, how much will you charge? And she said, no, that's my gift to you. So I've been getting gifts like that. So this is a gift which I'm going to give you. We made an ebook. All the 10 chapters of the book are converted into a one-page doodle visual. So you can just see a visual and you get all the, everything visually. You can see the chapters. So I'm going to give you that link as a gift to all those who invested that time. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hetal, for getting me on this platform. I wish you and your parenting venture a lot of success. And you know that you have been a part of that program when I did a parenting workshop for your school parents. And I've been doing many of those. But now I don't do parenting workshops. I don't have time for that. But I will be very happy to help you with all, anything I can do in terms of leads and terms. Because if anyone asks me for a parenting workshop, I'm going to pass it on to you. Because now you will represent me. So delegate. So I delegated parenting to you.
That's what is there in this book. So, and I am really, really, really happy that you could spare time for me for my show. So, Parent Station is also really privileged to have you
No,
here.
I'm equally thankful to you. And I also say, and that is not in the book, that is on a YouTube video, you'll see where I define what is time. And people say time is money. And I said, no, bullshit. Money is too little for time. Time is far beyond money. So the
Exactly.
simple definition of time is life. When you give me 10 minutes of your time, you have actually given me 10 minutes of your life.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And you better give it to people who deserve it. And that is why you say no to a telephone call.
Yes. That is why you say no to an unwanted visitor. You say
Yeah.
no to a sudden visitor because you have not planned it in your time.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
sir, this is really wonderful, and I recommend every viewer to please read this book. It's a time Bible or a time Gita for all of us by sir, and it's a privilege that I could get the author right on this book review. So we have got a detailed review from the author himself. So this is something really great, and I think you should really invest in this book. So thank you, sir. Thanks once again to be a part of this book review, and we shall always keep in touch.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Hetal. And thank you, viewers, for being there and listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.